Today I would like to tell you the story of Paul Bunyan and how he found Babe the blue ox. Paul Bunyan was a giant and he lived up in the North Woods, which was the area between Canada and the United States. And he was a logger. That meant he cut down the trees and helped replant the trees so that people could build houses and furniture and things like that. Anyway, one winter it was so cold. It was so cold that if you lit a fire, the fire would freeze and you would have to start another fire to thaw out the first fire. It was that cold, and it was so cold if you tried to talk to somebody, the words would freeze and you would have to put them over the fire to thaw out so that they could hear what you said, and then they would have to do the same thing. So Paul Bunyan was out and he was getting some more firewood to keep his fires going. And as he was walking through the woods, he saw a baby ox. And it was so cold that the poor ox had turned blue, but it was still alive. So he picked it up in his arms. And remember, he was a giant, so this was pretty easy for him to do. He picked him up in his arms, and it was like holding a small dog. And he took him back and he warmed him up and covered him with blankets. And the poor ox warmed up, but from that day on, he was always blue because he'd been so cold. He stayed blue for the rest of his life. But Paul Bunyan and Babe the blue ox ended up working together, and they had many, many adventures. But this is just a short story telling you how Paul Bunyan saved Babe and how they became best friends. So that was the story of Paul Bunyan and how he found Babe the blue ox.